Hi there. Welcome to a new episode of Branding with Friends. This is the show where branding meets key business topics. Here you're going to learn tips straight from the experts on everything from testimonials to podcasting to authentic marketing. We focus on what you can do right now with these topics, plus the power of branding to attract your ideal clients. I'm your host, branding expert Annie Franceschi of Greatest Story Creative. I help service business owners tell their story and show their value through clear messaging and consistent branding. I'm also a former Disney storyteller, professional speaker, and the best-selling author of three books: Establish Yourself, Permission to Try, and Small Biz for Kids. And today I am really excited to introduce you to one of my newest friends in the business world. If you have been curious about ads and paid advertising and whether you could start to do that for your practice, you're going to love today's guest as much as I do. My guest today is the lovely Hattie Dunstan. Hi, Hattie.
Hi.
Hattie is the fearlessly fun leader behind Funston's marketing. She's passionate about empowering entrepreneurs through Facebook and Instagram ad strategies and her community, Master Marketing with AI. Based in Canada, Hattie spends her days installing pixels, leveraging the latest ways to use ChatGPT, and watching seemingly endless cake decorating TikToks with her daughters, Daisy and Hazel, husband Tristan, and their cats, Bluey and Bingo. The best name for cats. Hattie, thank you for being with us.
Oh, well, thanks for having me. This is so fun.
My pleasure. I am so excited to talk to you about this because I think this is one of those topics that like everyone's heard about ads, they've been curious about them, but they're never sure like when is the right time and how do you get started with it. And you and I connected last year in 2023. We're recording this in 2024, and through a mutual friend. And I was so curious to talk to you and learn from you. And I took your Facebook ads class, your Meta ads class, and I learned so much about that world and how much strategy goes into it. And it really opened my eyes. And I said, we need to have you on. And you are the episode coming right after we just had Allison Hardy come on to talk about email funnels. And I think if you're listening today, you're gonna see why we did that, why we had funnels come before this, and why you can go back to the funnels episode at any point because ads are really worth doing, but at the right time with the right resources. And that's something that you've really kind of opened my eyes to. So that's what we're going to talk about today. If you've never watched an episode of Branding with Friends before, just want you to know Hattie has brought along three great tips for getting started with ads. She's going to share her first two, and then we're going to make sure that you know how to get a hold of Hattie, and she's got a free gift for you. And we're going to hold that third tip right for the end to make sure that you get to hear all three of them and you get the most value from today. So that's what we're going to do. Hattie, kick us off. If you are a coach, consultant, or service business owner, what is the first thing we should be considering if we're even thinking about running ads?
So I think the first thing is we need to think about, is our offer and our product, have we proven it already? So ads are great at amplifying an already existing offer that's working, and then we can get more eyeballs on it. And so once you've kind of ticked off that box, like, yeah, I sell stuff, I'm ready to take it to the next level and get more eyeballs, then I want you to think about installing your Meta Pixel or your TikTok Pixel, because even if you're
So
not,
many words.
yeah,
Metapixel, TikTok pixel. Like, okay, tell me, what is this, right? If we've never heard
okay, yeah,
pixel, I've heard
that's
pixel thanks
fair.
to you, but tell me more.
So a pixel is just less complicated than you would think. It'll probably take you 10 minutes to set up. And it's just a little piece of code. I think there's 12 digits in a number. You just place it into your website, and it's basically going to track your website visitors, any event that happens. If they click a button, if they add to your cart, it'll track abandoned carts. And then you'll be able to leverage that for ads, running an abandoned cart ad, running any sort of retargeting ad. You see that shoe that follows you around the internet. That's a retargeting ad after you look at it once. And you'll be able to run that if you put the pixel in. So my number one tip is, please, even if you're not gonna, you're like, you know what, I'm not gonna run Facebook ads right now. Please put it in so it can start collecting data over the next 3, 6 months. Even I think it goes to 360 days for Instagram retargeting. So even if ads is on your radar for a year from now, put the pixel in. That's my
Yeah, it's like this
first step.
really important setting, right? Which I did not realize. And I've been in business for 10 years and I didn't do this until right around I turned 10, double digits. And I think it's one of those steps that don't even realize you need to take. And so if you're curious about ads and like you said, doing it within the next 12 months, go ahead and do what's called install your Meta Pixel and your TikTok Pixel. There's a different one for TikTok. It's a different company, right? And just be thinking about that. If you don't understand what we're talking about, talk to your web person because they probably understand it for you, or can help you understand it. But this is something that a step you're going to want to take if you are curious about ads, because you always want the ability to basically reach people who visited your website. And you can't do that unless there's something on your website containing that data and tracking that information. So
Yeah,
thank
and
you for helping us get started with that really critical piece.
yeah, and try to check if there's any new business owners listening to this. It's important. I always say check the website hosting. So a lot of people are going to Canva for website hosting now, but you can't put your pixels in the Canva website. So Squarespace, Wix, Shopify, those are much better for more serious, I guess, business owners who want to be able to put these pixels and expand eventually into their website and have more coding capability, I guess.
Yeah.
Um,
I
so
mean,
check
sometimes
check
it's
your
the
website.
difference, right? So I do branding for people and I also exclusively build Squarespace websites. I've built a few Canva landing pages for people because I think if it's the difference between having no website and having something, like let's
Well,
go
that's true.
there.
Yes, yes.
Right. But I think that this is one of those things that you wouldn't even think about. But it is a consideration if you are thinking about getting your website created or your website updated, you're going to want to make sure you're asking questions like, can I add a track? If you're not even sure to call it a pixel, call it a tracking pixel. Right. So say I might want to run ads sometime. I want to go ahead and get this information. Just like you may have already been familiar with tracking like Google Analytics, that has to be set up on the behind the scenes or the back end of your website so that you can get information, traffic, know who's coming to your website, know where some of that traffic is coming from. It's very similar with something like a tracking pixel for ads for companies like Meta, which is Facebook and Instagram, and then companies like TikTok, right? And some of these, I know my audience, and if you might roll in your eyes right now, you're like, maybe you don't love social media, but this is ads are one way to get in front of these audiences that maybe you don't want to put the work into get with an organic, with you having to put the content together, you having to do all this social media. You can pay these companies to get in front of more people. Basically,
That's
like
why I
that's the
love
short
ads.
version. Yeah.
Yes. Or like if you are going on maternity leave
Yeah.
and you want ads or you want to be top of mind all the time, but you're like, I can't come up with, 6 months of content to pre-schedule it.
Yeah.
Run ads. It just takes such a weight off your shoulder. It's just so nice if you don't want to be producing all that content organically.
Yeah, and I think that that's a really good point, and I think you and we're both, parents of young children, and I think that I've realized as I become a parent, like, time is this huge commodity, and, if you want to scale your time, you're in a season where you have more resources than time, it can be really useful to use something like ads to help bridge that gap. We were just talking before we started that Branding with Friends actually started as a way to stay top of mind during my maternity leave to batch some episodes and things like that. So that's kind of where we're going with that thought process. So Hattie, I know the first thing we need to do is make sure we've got this tracking code, this tracking pixel, so that we have the ability to reach people who've already are somewhat of a warm connection. They've looked at our website or looked at something related to our business. What is the second thing we should do if we're really, really getting serious about running some ads?
Yeah, so if you're really serious about running some ads, is I want you to pull up your landing page or your shop page, and I want to calculate your conversion rates. I want you to look at your data because if your conversion rates are less than 2%, and I'll break down what a conversion rate is in a second, I don't want you to run ads because you won't make money off of it. So I want to make sure that your website is converting or doing the thing you want it to do before running ads. So let's say you have a freebie, download a lead magnet, and you have 100 people that click on that landing page. You want at least 40 of those people to put their email address in, which would be a 40% conversion rate. 40 divided by 100 times 100 equals 40%. So for a free offer, you want at least a 40% conversion rate or higher to run ads to that freebie. So most of our clients, we like to get, 60% because then the the ad costs come down. So we're getting, for every 100 clicks, we're getting 60 email addresses. So if you have 100 clicks and only 19 people are opting in, that's only a 19% conversion rate. And it's too low. I'm going to suggest that you tweak some copy, maybe go to Annie for some branding expertise on your landing page, but something isn't working on your landing page, and don't waste your money yet on we can drive traffic all day long to that landing page, but if it's not doing its job, if it's not converting, we're just throwing money down the toilet. So
Right. And we do not want to do that. That's what
no.
toddlers do, is they throw everything down the toilet. We are not going to do that.
Yes. And then people get frustrated and they're like, oh, ads don't work. When really, let's dive into the data and find out, well, is it the ads that aren't working? Or
Yeah.
is it our landing page? Or is it our email funnel? Maybe we go back to the episode prior to this and check out
Yeah.
some data from the email funnel. So we really want to make sure that your conversion rates are up to snuff. So for freebies, we want at least a 40% conversion rate, meaning for every 100 people that click on that page, we want at least 40 to opt in to be an email subscriber to get that freebie or take that quiz or download your thing. Then if it's your shop page, so if you're selling a course, if you're selling a digital product, we want your shop page to have at least a 2% conversion rate. Otherwise, so that means every 100 people that click on your shop, we want at least 2 purchases. Obviously, the more, the better. But 2 to 4 is about industry average. And so if you're less than that, you're not going to make money either, because ads cost money. And
Yep.
anyway, so those are the kind of the
No,
2
this is so
conversion rates
important.
you want to
Yeah.
look for.
So this was like hugely eye-opening for me, and someone I will say, and I just want to also like assure anyone who's listening, if we just lost you, that is actually important for you to know about ads. And that was something that really threw me in a lot of ways when I started exploring doing ads, when I played with doing it in December, is like, you do need to know your numbers, which is something Allison Hardy teaches about email funnels, which is Hattie is coming on and saying that. And I think there's this supposition that I'm sure I had, which is, oh, you just do an ad and you just pay money and you get people. And there is a whole world of strategy and work and money, financial risk that goes into creating and running ads. And just because you pay Instagram or Facebook for an ad does not mean you're going to get people on your list, does not mean you're going to get the right people on your list, does not mean you're going to get enough people on your list to justify the kinds of costs that go into running ads. And so if we lost you at 40% and 20%, and you're like, wait, I don't even have an email list, I don't even have a freebie, I want you to take that as encouragement and to really save your brain data of, you're not ready for ads yet, because if those things felt really foreign to you, we want you to get your return on this. Like, ads are only
Exactly.
worth doing if you meet sort of certain criteria for scaling this, a free thing that you're giving away or a paid thing that you're selling. If you're not meeting that or even getting it, you're just going to be paying Facebook and Instagram for doing nothing for you.
Yeah.
um
I think probably
that's not what we
70%
want to
on.
do.
Yeah. Yeah. We don't, yeah. We want to mitigate the risk, and I want to make you actual money from the ads. And I think probably 75% of my like coffee chats are just telling people, oh, wait, you don't have the right conversion rates, and they'll come to me often from bigger agencies who aren't looking at the data, who aren't diving in individually. And they'll be like, oh, this is the first time I'm hearing about conversion rates. And often I'll say, okay, well, go see a branding expert or go see a website designer, fix the website, fix the landing pages first,
Yeah.
because I really don't want to waste your money. We're all business owners. We're all trying to get by, and ads are only good at amplifying what's already existing, and we need these numbers to make you an ROI, to
Yes,
actually
it
make
can
you money.
scale, but it can't, replace having something of value, having something that works. And that was just really, really eye-opening to me. And one of the things I teach a lot is like, it's not all about marketing. Like, marketing is really important, but like, branding comes in because if marketing is action. People take an action. If you do marketing well, they're going to spend money with you. They're going to join your list. They're going to become your fan. They're going to refer you. If you do branding well, like, there's going to be connection. Like, marketing is bringing people, is that action of getting people to the right table, getting them to that page where they're going to get that freebie, that landing page. But if there's not something there that's compelling for them, that speaks to their pain points, that helps show that you understand them, aka the branding of it all, like, if that is not connecting to them, you are not going to see them sign up for that thing. And that ad was totally not worth your time and money to run.
Yeah.
So I think that, that's one of the biggest things I wanted to have you come on and talk to, because many people of the, I don't have a huge audience, and I've done a little bit of ad just in December based on Hattie strategies. What I know you don't have a list in most cases, or you have a list of just a few hundred people. Conversion rates are something you're going to want to really pay attention to before you start trying to like do a lot of passive selling, do a lot of like courses and digital products. Like Hattie will be the first to tell you, I will be second to tell you that the information, that if you don't even understand how to look at the data, that's where you need to start. Understanding the numbers and knowing if you sort of qualify or have reached a point where, okay, this is worth doing because I can repeat these success points with a larger group of people.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And then
Get
and
off
then it
soapbox.
stays. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
then it's a lot of work at the beginning. It's a
Yeah.
lot of work setting it up and making sure our
Oh my God.
conversion rates are high enough. Like it's
Yeah.
so much work. But then as soon as you get there and you can just run ads to it and just, the relief off your shoulders, like, whew, it's
Yeah.
magic.
There's great promise, but I think that the point being is like, I think too many marketing gurus are selling that it's so easy and everything's overnight, and it's
Ugh.
not. And like that was really eye-opening for me, because I always had the back of my mind that if I did ads, it would just make everything so much easier. And like ads are a lot
Yes,
of work.
Annie. Yes.
But ads that are worthwhile are a lot of work, which, once, like you said, once you get it going, then you have the promise of what ads can do. But it is not like any other strategy. There is a barrier to entry. There is a learning curve, right? And people like Hattie can help you get started. She has great resources. And that's sort of a nice lead in. So, we've got these three tips for you. I know got Hattie's got one more really good one to be thinking about. But I know that she's brought something along with her for you. So if you're listening or watching this, Hattie, what is that? I know there's a freebie. You can go check out her landing page. What is the freebie you've brought for us today?
Yeah, so my freebie is a download and it's a checklist of when should you run ads. So it's going to walk you through exactly when you should run ads and if you're ready. So it's going to make it super simple. You'll walk through the checklist, you'll walk through the tips, and if you're not ready, there's some awesome resources. I think there even in that freebie is a Power of the Pixel workshop to install your Pixel. So it's a like this freebie is it's good.
Oh, I'm sure you've tested it and it's got more
Yeah,
than 40% conversion rate, right?
it sure does. It's
So
got an
maybe,
89%.
oh my gosh. I have a conversion rate envy, but I did not used to care. I am not a numbers person, but you've opened my eyes, and I check it a lot more now. And you can check it if you do have an email list. You should be able to check it on things like Mailchimp and Flowdesk and ConvertKit and some of these other tools. But yeah, and if this has gotten you thinking, gosh, I don't even have like a proven offer, I don't have great copy on my landing page, like you can always reach out to me for a free consultation. Go to greateststorycreative.com, hit the big red button, free consult, and it goes right to my calendar. So you and I can hop on and have a private chat after you listen to Hattie's amazing advice. With that being said, Hattie, you've told us that we should install our Pixel, even if we're just contemplating ads. We need to know our conversion rates, what a rate is, what it relates to what we might want to run an ad to. What's that third thing that is really essential about getting started with ads?
Yeah, so I don't want to lose people here, but sales funnels. You need to set up a sales funnel. And sometimes when I say sales funnels, people are like, what is this? And I think naturally as a business owner, we kind of already set up a sales funnel, but it's more making sure that it's really set up. So having that freebie in place to think of an actual funnel. We want to bring new leads into the top. So we want our freebie, our quiz, anything to get them, aware of our business. Then we want to nurture them down here, which is email funnels. So go listen to the last episode. We want to really nurture them, build that know, like, trust in our sales funnel. And then at the bottom of the funnel, that's when we want to sell to them. And I think too many times we'll either try to sell to them with ads at the bottom before we've done this top or the middle. So really kind of planning out your sales funnel. And then I love to run ads to the top of the funnel. So any freebie you have, any lead magnet, any quiz, even these videos, Annie, as we're talking, I'm like, man, Annie should be running these as your top of funnel ads.
I should be. So much
Yeah.
should, right?
But yeah, so really setting up your sales funnel, because if you run traffic all day long to a lot of people make the mistake of running a sales ad before they've warmed up their audience, before they've brought in new audiences and they've exhausted their list or they've exhausted their customers after a year. And they're like, wait, why aren't people purchasing? Well, they forgot to bring in more people to the top. We always have to be replenishing that top of the funnel.
Yeah.
So it's really important that we set up that sales funnel. And I think that's, some people get in their heads about it, but it's important.
So the great summary here, I think, is really about ads. Is like if you've been thinking about ads, is you have got to recognize that it is an overarching strategy, and you've almost got to have a a business that's working. Frankly, like an offer that works, a freebie that leads to the offer, having emails that connect them. That's all that Hattie was really saying was like, an email sequence when you sign up and you start to hear about an offer and there's some sort of an offer being made of, hey, if you like this free thing, you might want to work with me in this way or get my course or what have you. I know from so much experience that many of you watching this are like, I don't even have a list, Annie. I don't even know what I'm selling. And that's why we should talk. Like, if you want to hop on my calendar, we should talk. But all that to say, like, ads are not this magic wand. Like, they can be magic, but they are not something you can tap to fix a business that is not yet a business or a business that does not yet have a sales funnel in place. And if you don't have that yet, that's fine. I didn't have a true sales funnel for many, many years. I had a very simplified one where I would speak, people would discover me, they do a free consult, and they would become my client.
And that's
That
still a
can be
sales
a
funnel.
sales
Yep.
funnel. Yep,
Yeah.
it can. It's not what Hattie's talking about is really like an email marketing sales funnel, which if you are curious about, you can learn a lot from Hattie about that, but you can also learn a lot from Allison Hardy. And that's why we did her episode just before this. So look her up. It's Branding with Friends about funnels with Allison, and we'll make sure it's linked here in the notes as well. But that's a great place to get started. And what I really want you to take from this was not so much that you have to start with ads right away or that you're behind if you don't have all these things. It's just to know what could come down the pike, know when ads could be a good play, when and what they're capable of and what they aren't capable of. Because if you were anything like me, I was just think I made all these assumptions about them that I think Hattie really educated me about. So I think having that education helps you to know, is that a good strategy for now? Is that in your year vision or 5-year vision? And what are you going to need to do to get there? So that ads could bring some magic into your business. Is that fair?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Well,
That's my
fabulous.
branding expert, the storyteller.
We go hand in hand, and I've learned a ton from Hattie, and I know you will too. We hope that you enjoyed yet another episode of Branding with Friends. So many thanks to my guest, Hattie Dunstan of Funstons Marketing. I hope you'll tune in next time when we're going to tackle another topic where branding meets business. Until then, I'm Annie Franceschi of Greatest Story Creative. You can find all our episodes, branding resources, my calendar, and so much more on my website at greateststorycreative.com. Stay awesome.